Mars is such a boring landscape, but I absolutely like it here. I don't know. I'm never. I don't know. I like staying here for a while. Good people, hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. I have built hours on this land cruiser now, and let's say it that way, it's not absolutely ready yet, but I colored it a bit. I weaponized some things. We have some things to show, and today we have to do 2, maybe 3 things. I need something to dig, something to move around cargo or cargo containers, and a thing to move cargo containers off the deck. And we will have to see how that all works out. The off the deck thing could be a bit clangy. So I have built what should we do? Let me show you stuff first, then we go over the things I've built there, and then we work out some things, hopefully. Good. We have a garage or a workshop that we can use to build containers, and that thing I want to use to bring in maybe new containers if I need them, ship them out onto the deck, and then move them off of the deck. However, and again, this is a relatively big part of the whole thing because I need the space to move in. Maybe we can build other stuff in here too. Maybe if we ever needed something to fly or whatever we want to have on this deck, we can build in there. A bridge to move the whole thing. The good thing is that with the remote control that I have set into the middle of the whole thing, we can move this thing from basically everywhere. This could be just a visual thing. I have a space here to land on and to get out, because maneuvering through the whole thing can be pretty tricky. The front room is still empty. That thing will hold some machinery to give us power. Not that I really need it, but I want to bring in some hydrogen engines for style, and I have brought in these 2 large thrusters to I don't know, maybe be able to get some lift so that we lighten this whole thing a bit. We will need to see how that will work out. And also they work like big fans that are spinning on top that, don't know, do something. Bring in atmosphere for whatever. I don't know. I like it. I like the idea of having stuff like that there. The color is not final, by the way, because I wanted to have some blue accent lights, and now they kind of don't work anymore because together with the color, it's not as shiny anymore. Front garage or space to build small rovers. I've parked the tank in here so that I can drive it in and out, and I can drive back to base with this tank. I will have some hard points for weapons like this. This is reminiscent of the candy cane antennas I have on my ships, and it's it's kind of the whole world franchise. I wanted to bring that in for this thing here too. I have some rooms in here that I haven't figured out what function they will have in the end. I've closed it off. That gives it less detail, so that will start for the next episode or something, so that I can bring in some detail. I've closed the drive pods here or something like that. I want to bring in more gantries to give it a bit more of an industrial feel. Back room here still empty. I want to bring in some assemblers and maybe some more machinery to fill this empty space. I have some refineries here because they work as a detailed piece here too. I know that they will not hold when I'm getting attacked or anything, but again, this is just a piece for some detail in the ship. It gives it something, gives the eye something to see. And we can put in 1 or 2 refineries more in here so that they are at least a bit protected. Inside, there's a lot of details missing. Again, this still will be worked out. We can close the inside off, at least this part. Then we have some airlocks to this room that will be completely airtight. It might not be yet, but we can see if we can put in some air vents to maybe bring some airtightness. This will be a gate with airlocks so that we can leave it closed. There will be the drill here, so we will have piston snake attached to a drill, maybe a small one. We will have to see how big we can make it. Cargo, there will be a few more cargo containers here. This assembler will be moved. Nice that now that happens. Way to the garage. And then we have the way back. This is a walkway around the drill that we can go through, enter this cockpit, and then we are inside a bay where we can bring in cargo haulers and maybe fill them up with this nozzle thing that we have on the base and on the other thing, so that we can have some top connections and fill up a cargo hauler. I built already one, but that thing is not permanent. So that we have 2 ways to transport cargo with rovers off of this land cruiser. This will be closed off so we don't see the built-in repair system anymore, and maybe we even get it to be airtight. I will have to put in an airlock there. That's the problem. I can't build a way around this, so we will always have to go to the cargo bay in the back, or the vehicle bay in the back. We will always have to go through this thing here. I think we don't need to go there often, so that's why I chose kind of to have the garage in the front, this cargo vehicle bay in the back, so that we maybe are able to make this airtight and then are able to go to the garage without having to use the suit. Enter here. This room will be definitely airtight. Up top we have the way to the bridge. Again, this all needs detailing. This is just the room now with a medical bay and programmable blocks. Up here, at the moment, cockpit is here. We have another medical bay here, way to the back. There's the power core is back here. That needs some detailing. This is the big room that will hold machines. And then we have the way up to the bridge with a ladder that I can't use right now because it's a half block ladder, and the whole thing is not standing right, so the ladder will not work for us. Cargo access and so on. Again, this all needs a bit of detailing. And by the way, here is the front room with the thrusters, and then later some hydrogen engines. Good. Get out. And then this was the tour of what we have right now. It still moves. At the moment it is anchored because we are at a spot where we can mine gold and silver, and that's something that we definitely need. We are desperately missing gold, silver, and platinum, and that everywhere. We will not get platinum here, but at least gold and silver we hopefully can grab to make medical components and all that stuff. So, first order of business, drill system. Let me start. So we will offset this so that we can have a bit of a deeper mining apparatus. So we need an offset of this because that's the middle. We want to kind of have a piston snake that moves around and goes then into the middle here. We will maybe do 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of pistons. That will be 80 meters, around 80 meters that we then can drill. So we need piston, advanced rotor, drill. We have twin drills and all that stuff. We will use vanilla drills. I don't want to have this thing build craters in which it can drop itself. So that's why we are going with vanilla drills, and we will not go. Give me a sec. I need to adjust the mic, and that's why we will not go too crazy on this drill mechanism. So the usual piston snake. Again, we can later upgrade this thing if we want, but for now we don't have to go too crazy. Build this and then pistons again. Typical thing. It will hang out of the bottom a bit, but I hopefully have thought about the whole cavern thing here enough that it is high enough to not have the drill scrape the bottom, the ground when we drive. See, I need to concentrate. I can't do this on camera. I should have learned that by now. Being a far better presenter when I am building. Fudge. Okay. This is not a problem. That was a dumb mistake. Let us go this way and then this way. That was a dumb mistake. I should have gone one more down, and then this whole thing would have worked out without moving anything. Good. So, but maybe that way it works out too. Fine. Done this, and then one down. One down. The rotor. Is it an advanced rotor? It's an advanced rotor. This thing. And now we will build a drill H. So oh no, these things are 3. I will be back in a sec. I will raise the whole thing a bit because the drills I did a dumb and the drills are 3 blocks long and not 2 blocks long. We'll be back in a second. I've left the top open so that we can see a bit more, but now again you can see it's 2 blocks higher. I will put on a half block roof here so that it doesn't completely dominate the whole thing. I was thinking about maybe making it just out of 4 pistons so that I could leave it flatter. Okay. We will hopefully let me know if flatter would be better. So if I cut it a bit shorter, the whole thing, and then we just use 4 pistons, so 40-meter extension. Maybe if you have an opinion on that, let me know. So drills 7. We will go with a drill H. That gives us a bit more action to the sides so that the hole is a bit bigger and we don't run our pistons or our drills into the ground and destroy them. So we need to name a few things. Drill. I'm very particular when it comes to naming. It needs to be just this piston drill. I could do all these nice things with, I don't know, naming the stuff beforehand. By the way, I don't even need to use build vision for that. But some are not done yet, so build vision is helpful when it comes to that. This is just so that I can group them all. We later need to put in a really slow speed on them all so that they can go down all at the same time, drill down, hopefully drill through whatever we need, and then we can pull it up. There was a script that someone made for me that worked out this whole. We didn't even. We could have saved a block there. I don't mind now. So we will keep it that way. where the speeds of the pistons could be different when they went down and then when they went back up, but I'm fine with just staying where I am for a while this thing is drilling. So now, while I'm waiting for this thing to be done, the next thing that we kind of need to do something about is a hauler, or a thing that moves the cargo containers on the deck of the thing. So and that's kind of a decision where you can get involved too, if we go away from the rule that we don't use flying ships here, then we could use a cargo drone, or a drone that is able to move these things, that can attach to the container, bring it out of the garage, bring it onto a waiting truck that can move the cargo containers. So then we would save up on something that brings the things down onto a truck if we want that. So that's something we could do with, for example, one of these things. It's not beautiful, it's just a concept, it's just a thing I've cobbled together to move the cargo container for now, and to be able to just tell you what I want. So then the next thing that we could do is use a rover on the deck of this thing. That's dangerous, because this thing is, if it's not attached to the deck, it is sliding. It is sliding around. So one thing I found, and I can't give you a picture of it, it's just kind of like these trucks that move airplanes around. So there is these flat things that are kind of hooked around the front wheel of an airplane, and then this whole thing can pull the airplane. Something like that would be nice. I did this concept. The problem that I have with it is that the wheels are controllable with Whip's subgrid wheel script. It works, and that's why, by the way, these wheels are spinning, because the subgrid thing tries to counter certain movements, and I would lose this thing with the new concept that I have in mind. So question is, do we build a rover? Do we go with the drone? Because the drone kind of saves us another build that we need to do that might tempt Clang to just take this thing. I will start building this thing and maybe get the concept ready. Let me do this kind of off camera, because again, this will be too messy to put on camera. So I will wait for the drill to be completely done, and I will start this thing in the meantime, and hopefully we get something that works out in the end. I just had to come back to show you this. Space engineers. I just placed this block and all 4 wheels just dropped off. Just dropped. They were here. And now they are not here anymore. Space engineers, you... Ugh. Yeah, let us see if this is a persistent problem. Maybe this stays that way. So I had it connected this way. That might not be the perfect way. So we maybe we maybe want to have it framed by blocks or something like that to hopefully not fall off anymore. This is dumb. Ridiculous. I will keep doing this. I wasn't too deep into the whole thing, and already Space Engineers is showing me that it is dumb. Back to it. It's basically a rough sketch of the plan I have. So I need something flat, relatively small, to move these cargo crates. I need to be able to push them in a certain space, have them stay there, and then everything's fine. So I thought merge blocks, all that stuff would be the way to go. But again, that was an inspiration. I was on Reddit. There was a post on, I don't know, imaginary technology or something like that, with something like a vehicle, again, that looks like these cargo airplane shuttle things. And this is what I made of it, basically. It's just, again, there might be a frame or something like that. But because the cargo containers are all standardized, they have all the same size, we can maybe work with something like this. So I have landing gears around this opening that I can hopefully drive around the cargo container. Again, this could go horribly wrong, but I hope that it will not. So we can bump into the cargo container, hopefully line it completely up, then lock the cargo container. I might have it locked to the ground. I will change that. So now the cargo container is unlocked, and now what we can do, and because we don't need crazy contraptions with pistons or anything, we can just bump up the ride height, and that should give us enough height to carry this cargo container. Okay, we need strength. This whole thing is heavy, so we need strength on the wheel. We'll just go up to 100. So because it is a subgrid, it has trouble. But what we can do now is just carry this thing around on the deck. Hopefully push it into a space where we then... The thing is, this whole thing is too big for the small deck of the... But in Space Engineers, we just can't make it smaller. This is aggravating. The whole thing is moving like crazy, maybe because the suspension is too stiff. And we will bring down the power a bit. Friction, maybe. I will try to work this out. Why are you not moving? Yeah, Space Engineers and wheels and all that stuff is somewhat nice, somewhat bad. Again, it has to do with it being a load on a rover that is not connected. We could put some merge blocks on there, on the side, incorporate that into the cargo container design, but for the moment it is mostly a concept. Would you please stop and drive forward? Thank you. Friction. Space Engineers, the other rover had the same problem. It kind of is a known thing. So let's bring the power back up. And having subgrids on that thing makes it even worse. Maybe more wheels. I don't mind right now. I will test this out and get this thing to work. I think this is a lot better than the flimsy rover thing we had before. So if we want to then just bring it down, we just lower it back on its feet, then turn off these things, and then we can drive off with that thing. Why are you hanging? Maybe I can position the landing gears just in the front. I'm not sure, but this is the concept, and I hope I can get that to run in some way. Maybe better than what we had before. Let me take a look if there's anything on the container that makes it so troublesome. But at least it's a build that doesn't have so many moving parts and that shouldn't flip like crazy. So the next thing that we would need to have, if we just go with this rover hauling things on the deck, it could be also the deck. The deck is not completely straight. Driving around with this thing is just, again, space engineers and rovers. So the next thing that we might want to have is something like a crane, so that we can move these crates off the deck and maybe onto a rover that can hold the crates somewhat. And I'm not sure how to do that, because we could use pistons, but that might limit the size then, and I'm not sure. We will have to experiment with that and maybe see if Clang eats the crane. I hope not. Good. Next step, maybe building out this thing a bit more and working on something like a crane. I think I will go for the crane first, make another concept that we can hopefully work out together. We will see. I think I have done something that works, and maybe we can get this to work with MarmOS, because we have not so many axes that we have to do complicated stuff with it. That's a neat thing. We have down, we have a rotation axis, and we have this thing. And maybe if I can do that, we can add the mouse rotation or something like that into this rotor. And then we have a crane that we can use to bring down these crates. It's not as useful as the drone, because the drone, it doesn't matter where a truck or something like that is parked. But with this thing we can again we can lower the whole thing by just bringing in the piston and stop it. The crates have to be in a certain spot, kind of to lock and then be able to just be picked up. And I hope nothing explodes when I merge the whole stuff. That could be bad, but we would have to test that. The thing is, that might take longer than I'm able to do today. So I want opinions on this. Because this could work, and it could be that Clang doesn't grab that thing and just throws it away. We will do a test. Let me save the game, and then we will unlock the landing gear that I have put underneath the whole thing. At the moment the whole thing is locked down, And if we now lose it and then the whole thing explodes, then we have a problem. But it seems it doesn't. How big is this thing? And it is not too big the way it is right now. We could try to put in another piston up here. That pistons are not nice. Having a piston up here is not nice. So maybe we go with a certain spot that we have to drag the cargo containers to. It might in the end be the nicer thing to use. So yeah, we will go with this for now, and I will try to figure out how I can get Marmo S to work this, so that we hopefully in the end get something useful here. Again, that might work without too many issues. Now the question is, can we lock the cargo container to that? I have to figure this out. So I will give it a few minutes to bring Marmo S to work, because I'm running late here. If I can get that done, then I will hopefully be able to steer the whole thing, and maybe I will bring over a cargo container to hopefully somewhere where I can grab it, and then hopefully we see if the whole thing explodes. If that doesn't work out, I will get that done for the next episode, so that we can see it then. Oh, that would be nice. Okay, maybe I come back with you with success and all that stuff. I'm not promising anything. Back in a sec. Just to get an end on this, because otherwise I will record for ages. I got some parts of the whole thing to work. I can't rotate the crane right now. That's a bit of a problem, and this is kind of occurring. Marmo S has the weird, it kind of uses a reference that it revolves around, and I think it's using the cockpit as reference, so that when I have something set to something similar, then it kind of does this where it moves more of the things all at once. I think it uses the endpoints, so this thing as the main reference, and that's why it kind of here it doesn't do that. So here it just uses the piston, because I think it thinks that thing is upright, and then it has no clue where all the other stuff is. And Marmo S is a complicated thing. I hope that I can figure this out, that I can at least get the thing I want to turn the crane at the moment turns this rotor up top, and that's kind of not what I want, because that's mouse movement, that's Q and E, and I want Q and E to rotate the crane. That would be amazing. I will figure that out. I'm pretty sure that I can at one point find a solution for this. So having this crane would be very, very nice. That would make my life a whole lot easier, and then I can kind of remodel it and do some things to this, for example. It doesn't look too well there. It would be nicer to have a slope there or something like that, but having this thing work would be absolutely cool. So I will keep on trying, but I have to end the video now, otherwise I will not be able to to render it and all that stuff. Good people, I say thanks for watching. Hope you like this. If you have any tips for me or any help that could make this whole thing possible and work out, then let me know. I'm curious to hear what there is. And yeah, okay, let's start again. People, thanks for watching. Hope you liked this episode. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. People, thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you do, and all that jazz. See ya, guys.